Alright, here we go. Right here, I've shown this one before. This is Wet Hop Lager. Il Festigiard Go. Obviously. So, this is a fresh hop lager. We are going to be pouring it into a flute. Flutes are good for lagers because they concentrate the nose into a smaller circle there than a pint or a snifter, and so those delicate aromas are easier to perceive. This one here, obviously, you can get the hops that are being pressed into this lager. Lagers are usually crisp and clean, and this one here actually has a nice sweetness and a nice bitterness from the hops, which is very, very much appreciated. You can see it's nicely carbonated. It's just coming up from the bottom up. Poured out of a can like this, lagers aren't going to hold a huge head, but that doesn't mean that they can't have a huge head when it's being poured out of like draft and stuff like that. There's actually multiple ways to pour beer, and those different pourings can actually have a lot to do with the way that the overall taste ends up. So, there's that. We are going to be using Talbot Shavings B3 Okuma, and we're doing this because I saw a smidge of pink, and so we're going to keep the Pink Boiz going for breast cancer awareness. Even though this has all kinds of other colors, I saw a smidge of pink. It qualifies. It's good enough. So this is an aquatic scent, but this one has a lot more going on than just aquatic. This one actually has a lot more I feel like this one has a lot more like sea salt. A lot more oceanfront. Like, it has citrus in it, but there's a lot more than just citrus, and it's hard to describe. It's more than just that salty style. It's more than just saying marine. It's more than just saying ozone. There's something like, it's got this twang to it, and that's what I really love about Okuma. It's an aquatic, it's a citrus forward, but it has this twang to it that is really unique to kind of a like oceanfront property, and most likely it's from the yuzu. We got some loaded up into the Lancaster bowl. We got our Sawdust Creation Studios brush in the bougie brush bath. And we are going to be using the charcoal level 2 yet again. Might as well load a blade into it since it doesn't have one now. Take the handle off. That ugly ass handle. I am only about 6 beers in. We are going to be using an Astra blade right there. An inverted Astra showing, inverted cameo, and try to get it out of here without absolutely butchering myself. We'll see how that goes. I just had a shower though, so if anything, maybe that's enough to help me out. There we go, little by little. Okay. There we are. Just make sure it's snug. And we have a blade loaded in the charcoal level 2. So far, so good. Let's go ahead and wring out the brush. We will show you what we're working with right there. Sawdust Creation Studios. This is the Plum Crazy handle, and it has a Paragon shaving Boar knot in it, 25 millimeter. And let's get to lathering. I've never really had a problem lathering with this knot. If anything, it's more so just getting it to hang around after I make a lather. This is my one and only boar knot, at least for the time being. I have another one incoming. And I've always been pleased with this Paragon boar knot. It's not like some huge dense bastard. It's only 25 millimeters, and even at that, it's not dense. But it broke in easily. It really went from that, somewhat scritchy phase to not really scritchy at all. It lost some of its backbone as it broke in, but it's not really floppy. Like, I still get good lathers out of it, no problem. I think, if anything, the one problem is that it doesn't hold a lot of lather within its knot, if you know what I mean. I'm a bowl latherer, so I feel like it leaves a lot of lather in the bowl, and as far as what's in the knot is actually a little bit less, you know what I mean? If that makes any sense. Like, the knot has the capacity to hold on to a certain amount of lather, and then the bowl is holding on to the rest. So, I would say it's kind of a bummer that the knot doesn't hold on to more lather. I gotta revisit the bowl to get enough lather to paint the whole face evenly. On the first pass, it's not as big a deal, but the second pass is like, definitely have to revisit the bowl. And this might be something that's like associated with bowl lathering in general, but with the boar knot, even more so. I actually don't have any problem using a boar knot whatsoever. I'm not shying away from them. I'm not actively avoiding them. I have one that works for me and I'm happy. I bought another one. Hopefully that works for me and I'm happy. And in the future, if another boar knot presents itself that sounds appealing, I will approach that, and hopefully that works for me as well. I don't have any problems with boar knots, but at the same time, they're not actively captivating my interest or attention. So, they're there. I'm aware of them. I'm perfectly pleased with my experience with them. We're starting to run out here. Perfectly pleased with my experience with them, but in all honesty, they haven't captivated me. I'm not thinking about them on my downtime. They're just kind of adequate. They get the job done. They're pleasurable, but they're not really taking it to that next level. Sorry, my fan was on this whole time. And it was kind of losing its mind there. I've had so many drinks, I didn't even notice it was on. This Talbot V3 is a nice lather. Okay. I'll tell you one, when you've been drinking, like shit you've never noticed happens. I swear this hand's getting a cramp. Those fresh hop beers, eh? Back to the charcoal B2. Still feeling smooth. I haven't actually used an Astra in quite some time. A lot of people like the Astras, including me. But they're not my favorite. They just kind of hang out in the middle of the pack. And by that, I mean they're not a top tier blade for my skin. They're just kind of running with the stuff that works, but isn't impressive for my skin. This Talbot V3 is good shit. I'm actually supposed to send this to Marion. He asked me to let him borrow it. And in typical DK fashion, I have procrastinated to the max. I'm still going to send it to him, but just way later than he originally wanted to use it. And this is something you can expect from me. I work at the post office, but I am fucking terrible at shipping products. Terrible. I mean, I could probably ship them out Monday through Friday with ease, but the fact of getting me to do it is just like pulling teeth, man. I don't know what it is. It's like I have no motivation to ship. Sorry, fellas. I will get you this Talbot V3, though, Marion. I will. I promise. I'm just a slacker is all. But I had to use another soap with pink in it. Even though it's only a little bit of pink, it's just like a strand of pink. I had to use it to promote the Pink Boiz. For breast cancer awareness and to fully support a honorable cause set forth by 3 gentlemen in the wet shaving community, which are Jeremy Tyler, Marion the Barbarian, and Ken Ramito of Shave 326. God, this is a fucking... should say shipwreck for my buddy Lather Me Whiskers. But, the Traveling Shaver, Marion the Barbarian, and Shave 326, those are the YouTube channels, will be linked in the description to reference if my drunken stupor wasn't clear enough for you. And this whole time, the scent has been fucking banging. It's been kicking. The scent is strong and apparent, citrus forward, so it's kind of easy to perceive, but also there's like this sparkling nature to it. It's like citrus, but also green, but also salty aquatic. It's kind of hard to describe. This is actually phenomenal, in my opinion. A unique aquatic, in my opinion. It takes it a step further. This aquatic was actually polarizing. It was sold side by side with the what was it called? Island Man or Island in the Sun or something like that. Which was another aquatic. And I think that aquatic was a little bit more crowd pleasing. This one here kind of pushed the boundaries of aquatic. And because of that, some people really like it and some people didn't like it at all. But I feel like this is the better of the two aquatics because of its, boundary pushing qualities. One thing is for sure. You're never going to make history by doing the exact same thing that everyone else does. Like starting a wet shaving channel, being clean shaven. Sorry, it's already been done. No, I'm just fucking with y'all. But bearded shavers are a little bit more scarce. The Talbot V3 base is absolutely good stuff, but as I came to find when I first picked up Cole's Pond, which is not V3, so was the previous stuff. You know what I mean? And this is precisely why I don't get caught up with the fucking base race. I could care fucking less if I can perform a drunken shave without issue. Then the base is obviously average. Maybe one of these days I'll black out and stumble my way to the camera. And maybe if I'm blacked out and don't get any cuts, it'll be above average. But the point of the thing is, the point of the story here is you don't have to be sober or even that good at shaving to use a decent soap and get a great shave. This base is still kicking. I'm really digging this Okuma scent. It's going kind of well with my fresh hop beer as well. I will wipe down the hands. The Hans. With the peasant towel, but I'm gonna have to reference back to the Lancaster towel for the face. Charcoal level 2. That shit gives some comfy shaves. A lot smoother than the Kamasuri. Hopefully, between the Talbot soap and the Maol Grooming, it will have enough to overpower the dehydration caused by the alcohol, caused by many craft beers. But if not, the soaps during the week will take care of me. God damn, that's nice. That's fucking nice. When you're just kind of like in like a state on the edge, you got a buzz going. You have a fantastic aroma in the air. You just somehow managed a very smooth, comfortable shave. And now all you have to do is splash on some aftershave with a nice buzz going. It's kind of like a weird feeling, like an after massage feeling, a euphoric feeling. Maol Grooming. Maol, whatever the fuck it is. Got some right there. Get a little bit more. This is supposedly really good shit. And I've always enjoyed the original Maol Grooming base. I remember people used to say like three drops. You don't want to overdo it. Fuck all that. You're obviously not drinking enough if you're worried about overdoing it. Gotta get some of that fucking skin food in there. Gotta counteract that fucking dehydration. And that thing kicks. And one thing about this is that the soap and the aftershave do not smell different. They have that same, like, twang to it. And it's fucking awesome. So, charcoal level 2 Astra green performed fucking nice. And the Talbot V3 performed fucking nice, even though it was fucking done with a Boar knot, which isn't like the best. But it's fucking definitely adequate and performs well. We are back with the fucking lager flute. Probably Pilsner flute to be more accurate, but I'm drinking a lager in a Pilsner flute that just so happens to be fresh hopped, which just so happens to benefit from a smaller nose, so whatever. Whatever, who gives a fuck. Cheers. Pink Boy raffle. Marion the Barbarian. Ken, Shave 326. Jeremy, the Traveling Shaver. Check him out for all the details on breast cancer awareness, raffle, charity, such and such. Check those guys out. They'll be in the description below. Peace.